here in Phoenix, Arizona, where the Phils get set to take on the Arizona Diamondbacks. Game 1. And we'll talk a little bit about Corbin Carroll, who could be the Rookie of the Year and MVP. We'll talk.
Arizona's Corbin Carroll, NL Player of the Week for this week, just happened. They're in first place in the West. A lot of pressure. Good luck to this crew officiating this game. For the Diamondbacks, all the hopes are riding on this young player, so they're watching very closely whenever he's at bat.
He's the leader in almost every rookie offensive category. And that ball got him.
The first hit batsman of the game is Corbin Carroll in the first inning. Let's fast forward to the third.
Lines it out to right. And he takes a bit high.
Phillies are going up maybe a little into Carroll because the heat map, we have to flip it around to get the pitcher's point of view because it's default to the batter's point of view. His coldest part is up and in. And so the Phillies are trying to pitch him up and in because that is where he is the least dangerous, least amount of hits.
Oh, he got hit again in the hands.
This is the at-bat we just saw.
Lovullo notices, hey, you're pitching my guy up and in. He's been hit twice now, and he wants to have a conversation.
I'm not quite sure why Torey Lovullo's out there right now. I'm not quite sure what he could be arguing about.
JT's trying to tell him, listen, that's not intentional.
Just throwing inside as part of a strategy is not enough for an ejection. It has to be intentionally throwing it at a batter for someone to get it tossed. Then Lovullo starts arguing with JT Real Muto.
That's not intentional. I think his fastball tails in.
Umpire says you can't argue this. Manager keeps going and gets ejected.
Come on, Torey.
I think Vic Carapazza is saying the same thing. He's thrown out of the game.
Ridiculous. He thinks he's throwing him in on purpose?
And Torey is barking into the Phillies dugout.
Lovullo now goes after everyone on Philadelphia he can. The dugout, the on-field players. No stone left unturned. So, of course, the dugout's empty.
He better be careful.
Benches are going to clear as
They're coming in from the bullpens as well.
Oh, yeah. How could I forget about the most exciting part of these things?
Corbin Carroll, just named National League Player of the Week today, has been hit twice in 2 plate appearances by left-hand.
You can understand why they're upset, but one of the things that sort of peeves me about these situations is it's always the instigator gets to walk away and everyone else has to clean up the aftermath, except this time Lovullo tries to come back.
Jerry Lane, the crew chief, right?
And there he is in the middle of everything again.
With Kyle Schwarber. If you're the umpire, if you're Jerry Lane, you got to get him out of here because he's just instigating now.
As the herd begins to thin, never join herds, people. The umpires show they have heard Arizona's complaint and meet to discuss the situation.
So they're warning both benches.
Typically, I would say that you shouldn't be warning them, but Torey Lovullo basically made this happen.
I would agree with that.
I agree with that. Remember, an ejection for throwing at requires intent, but a warning, although an option for intent, is also allowed at any time when circumstances warrant. And I think both teams having a mid-game convention on the field qualifies as such a circumstance. So now we have a baseball game to keep playing.
Warning track has got it. Both runners tag, Corbin into second.
And because we can't have nice things after the play, here's more bench jockeying.
And we'll try and find out for you who's been ejected.
Dugout continues. Ejection. Get out of here. You're gone. No more. It's over. We know it's Rojas because there he is, top step. When umpires issue warnings, generally speaking, that means stop.
Phils, they came to fight. And Strahm is being booed off the mound.
What a mess. In the words of Vic Carapazza, let's go. Let's play.
Do I think they were trying to hit him on purpose? No, I don't. I do not. But there's a certain space, in my opinion. That's the safe zone to throw in, and then there's a not so safe zone to throw in. And I felt like it was my job to protect the player. I'll do that every day of the week. And just create an awareness that it's not making anybody comfortable and there's not going to be a good result if this continues.
Keep an eye on these teams, probably not this series, you never know. But from an officiating standpoint, this quote.
Do I think they were trying to hit him on purpose? No, I don't.
tells you everything you need to know about whether this play was officiated properly.
They are warning now.
They're warning both.
Yeah.